If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Here we go. So long. Thanks for all the fish. Lyric video. Let's do this shit. We're going to watch a real video on the other side. Let's go.
Bravissimo, hip hip, hooray! What a glorious display! Melt our joyous hearts away. plastic surgery. Now Willy Wonka, Major Tom, Ollie and Leia have moved on. Signal the final curtain call in all its atomic pageantry.
It shows the last thing is a nuclear
Explosion that
event, and you see people's faces melt,
melting off.
all that jazz.
Wow. That
was a perfect circle. Is he naming all those celebrities that died? Ali and Leia, Marilyn Monroe. That'd be Muhammad Ali and Princess Leia died. I forgot. Carrie Fisher, I think, is her name. That's the wrong.
Oh, okay.
That's the wrong set of lyrics. Okay. What's
Okay,
the
so
song again? Perfect song. So
thanks for all the fish.
Okay.
This is for the big homie Fabrice. But yeah, this one was. Sometimes I get like in those modes where I just start thinking about like when we on fancy water, like spending money on fancy water, and I like my Poland spring water. I don't like drinking from the tap. And I was thinking, like, during this, I'm not saying that I'm going to make a policy change in this moment, but I was like, imagine if instead of drinking the Poland Spring, you just drank from the tap, and then all that money that was for that, you went to send water to other people that are drinking whatever. But then I think, well, there are health benefits to not drinking from the tap because we found that the government put stuff in there, you know? So
we didn't find. I mean, they've said it. I mean, they put fluoride in the water now. Whether you think it's a positive thing or a negative thing, that's the rub. But yeah. But
there is, like, when you think about everything that you see as like physical, well, actually, it's probably the whole like thinking about the physical world. And
I hear you, middle. I'm just not sure because I know that there's a Leia Ali, but. No, her name isn't Leia. It's Layla Ali. Layla. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was. I don't think he was referencing Ali's daughter. But go ahead.
When we're talking about, is this the person that played it on Star Wars? Is that like, or am I?
I'm saying, Carrie Fisher, right?
Oh, okay.
Because one of the themes is he keeps talking about. See, it says Ali and Leia have moved on, and then he talks about he makes reference to Marilyn Monroe. Then he talks about Prince, like our Prince and Renee's mom. All the dolphins have moved on. So, like when those people die, it's Layla Ali, Laila. I think he's got Leia here, and I think he's referencing Carrie Fisher. And the only reason I'm saying that is because. You're talking about Prince. You're talking about Muhammad Ali, Marilyn Monroe. All these people have died, and then when it talks about like that, it talks about all the dolphins have moved on. And in the story, before the world gets destroyed, dolphins get out of here, and that's why in the video you see these flying dolphins,
and then they become the plane.
And I think the point is that these people's death is kind of signaling. The destruction of humanity. Like all these good people are leaving us. All these people that impacted us are leaving us.
Yeah.
And the rest of us here are left behind into this destruction type of thing. That's kind of the idea.
Okay.
Fun fact. Damn you, Kai.
Yeah, but it depends on where you live.
He's in like Finland.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm buying the water that I buy comes from Kai's backstream.
Yeah, exactly.
Good night.
Exactly.
Good night. Right, Steve. Leia,
So
however, she is still alive for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it could be Layla Ali. I'm not sure. It really
wouldn't make any sense, though.
It just looks to me that he's saying that these dead people which is really kind of low-key arrogant because it's like, oh, these celebrities died and now that's the harbinger. They're the dolphins that are leaving us, and Maynard happens to be a celebrity. See what I'm saying? So it's a little bit.
Yeah.
He's talking about like, the Kali Yuga, which we're apparently in right now. But he's talking about like, plastic surgery and like how shallow everybody is. but then when he talks about like significant deaths, it's all these, you know, people on TV
Yeah.
that did probably get some plastic surgery. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Carrie Fisher was not like she was not Gandhi. I mean, God bless her, but I mean, Carrie Fisher, I mean, you know, what did she do? I mean, she was Princess Leia. That's great. You know what I'm saying? But like, what did she actually do? Same thing with Muhammad Ali. Like, Muhammad Ali, I'll say it was different because he protested the Vietnam War and he paid for it.
Oh, okay.
You know, he said, none of Viet Cong ever called me a nigger. So I'm not fighting them boys. Smart man for you. Smarter than me. But yeah, that little piece is ironic to me. Like, oh, when the celebrities die. A person could easily say, though, yeah, but those celebrities are archetypes of something, right? So, like, Marilyn Monroe would be the archetype of, like, the ultimate woman, which, you know, you weren't alive at the time, so people have to settle for Marilyn Monroe. So you got Marilyn Monroe as the ultimate woman. You got Malcolm, Muhammad Ali, who a lot of people would say is the pinnacle of boxing, and I would probably agree with that. And that would make him the pinnacle of masculinity, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. So Marilyn
Did they
Monroe,
stack those? Did they stack?
Marilyn Monroe would be the pinnacle of femininity, and then Ali could be the epitome of masculinity. And so, in that sense, when those things start to go, then you're in trouble. And then you have Prince, and Prince, you know, is a musician. He's an artist, and Prince was funny because he was like one of the first like gender bender guys. Like he would show up, especially from the black community. Like he'd show up wearing purple and tight and shit, and everybody was always curious about him because his mannerisms and all that shit. So he was kind of like he was kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So like you could look at these people as archetypes for stuff, but like, as far as like what they accomplished in the world, like I said, like Ali like went up against the U.S. government, fine. Prince, you know, he changed music. He was a gifted musician, but I don't believe that Carrie Fisher or Prince did anything significant enough to where their deaths would be the dolphins leaving the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
Yeah, but maybe it has more to do with
anything that significant in my view.
Maybe it's
aside from, you know,
it is,
Ali going up against the government. Go ahead.
It is interesting because we're talking about spending money on apps and all these different things that what do they actually do? It's like kind of wasteful. It kind of seemed like,
right.
But then at the same time, we're talking about these people that you're saying like, what did she actually accomplish? But at the same time, they were like cultural markers. Like, you know, when like the last person of your family, we have different experiences, but like for instance, that Princess Leia character, I agree. I kind of agree with you, Hell. I did know somebody else that had a pretty giant fascination with her as well. But I think that maybe, I mean, it was a cultural thing. And like she was,
but
when she dies, like it's like the ending. I mean, Star Wars was a big giant thing, just like Ali was big. Like maybe it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this thing that was like all of us that kind of like brought us all together, that's gone now. So maybe it's something like that.
I don't think you should feel bad for thinking that. I think he did that on purpose.
What?
Prince. He made himself like a question mark on purpose. So you shouldn't feel bad for thinking that. But I don't know, man. Like I think the celebrity culture is crazy, and Maynard is part of celebrity culture, and so there's a sense in which he cannot think outside of those along those lines. Ali at one point was bigger than the Beatles, but Ali actually did something. Like, I like LeBron James, but what has he done? Michael Jordan, same thing. Michael Jordan, like, brilliant. Second greatest basketball player of all time. But when it's actually time to step up and do some shit, he's like, well, shit, man, white people buy shoes too. All right, cool, bro. Cool. I'm not mad at you. Go ahead. But, I don't know.
Did he say Willy Wonka?
Well, yeah, you know, playtime is over type of thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he does talk a lot about like the nuclear stuff, and you know, the last couple global incidents, if I was not a Christian, would terrify me. Like how quickly rational, intelligent, brilliant people were able to be duped by their government to supporting this Ukraine thing. Like out and out actual Nazis. Like out there.
On their
And
patches.
our government,
Yeah.
think about this. Our government found a way to get people who were finding Nazis where there were no Nazis. Because anybody in the MAGA hat is a Nazi. They were able to like read the tea leaves and figure out that even though he didn't say he's a Nazi, simultaneous to that, the same group of people, when there were actual Nazis, couldn't see it. And we were fucking with a nuclear power.
Yeah.
And we had experts, literally every expert in the region for decades telling us, this is bad.
Yeah.
This could instigate or catalyze something nuclear. And we went right along with it, man. And like, I'm saying we, because everybody knows my perspective on that situation. And I was right in that situation. I was wrong on a lot of situations, namely Trump and the actual danger that Trump actually proposed. But it's unbelievable to me to like watch, and I'm like, yo, and now we got Israel Palestine, so now we don't care about, you got Biden. Biden's like, y'all got to figure something. Biden told Zelensky, you guys got to figure something out. We ain't giving y'all no more money. It's like, my whole thing about that situation is, I said this was going to end this way, and anybody that did like a cursory 5-minute like review of that situation knew exactly what the fuck was going to end up happening to those poor people. And yet, all these people in complete, John Hirschman, like everybody on any side that was an expert was like, yo, this is going to catalyze something. You got to stop fucking with these Russians. We obviously, and now we've got people talking. I just saw this on Rising a couple days ago where they were talking about how the Russians and the Ukrainians did want to have a deal, and then we came in there and stopped it. The real reason was so that we could destroy Nord Stream 2, so that the Germans would have to be a client state of ours, and now we've got the entire European continent as a client state for us for the next 50 years. Congratulations, Exxon and Chevron.
So if they would
and congratulations, all of you who put the Ukrainian flag, well-meaning people, but that was all there for a proxy war and a money grab for rich people, and you're not going to see a dime of it. But people that were just as poor as you, or people in a worse circumstance than you, are burying hundreds of family members now because we decided we're gonna use them as a target practice, also so that we can test out some of our experimental devices that we're going to be using in China in about 5 to 8 years. Yeah, that's all open source. But my point is like that Russia-Ukraine exercise should really scare people, because it means that the government can get us to look past what we actually see.
Yep.
And
all
the government,
of us, the Russians and the Ukrainians.
I would tell people, I'm like,
because if the Russians and the Ukrainians got together and they said, hey, hold on a second.
They
we're working
tried.
this out.
They tried.
Yes, but then we got involved. But if the Ukrainians said, no, we don't want your shit. Stay out of here.
Google Dennis Kyriv. Dennis Kyriv, at the beginning of this conflict, was working with the Russians to broker a peace deal.
That's right, and then he got killed.
And they executed him in public.
That's right. Who's they?
The Ukrainians.
That's what I'm saying. I said if the Ukrainians and the Russians would have told us to stay out of it.
Joe, at least we're making a ton of money. No, that's oversimplistic.
Is it?
Because not every Ukrainian is a war-loving Nazi.
That's right.
It's a very small. It's but what people don't understand, they go, oh, it's a small percentage. That's all you need to hold a country hostage. Because extremists are always willing to do more than what a normal person is willing to do. So they don't need all those numbers.
Right.
To listen, if there's 500 people in a room and I have a gun and I shoot 2 people, everybody else is going to listen to me. Even though, numerically speaking, you guys have the advantage. So you do not need a country full of Nazis. All you need is enough Nazis to make Zelensky...
Yep.
Because he's caught between a rock and a hard place. I don't believe Zelensky's a bad guy. I think he's a coward. I think His cowardice makes him bad, but honestly, they would have killed him and put another puppet in there and kept it moving. These people were kidnapping members of the government, members of the Ukrainian government. I did a Middle America video where a governor in one of the provinces in Ukraine was begging to get his daughter back.
Right, that's what I was saying. The kid, yeah.
Begging to get his daughter back. I showed that, and
so
people
horrible.
still. Now, I'm not going to mention names, but
that kid is forever going to be traumatized.
I showed a video of a bunch of teachers at a kindergarten yelling at Ukrainian soldiers for setting up their mortars and shit by the schools.
Yeah.
And the teachers are saying, you know that they're gonna come, they're gonna take out that position, and we got kids here. What the fuck is wrong with you? And literally, I have a person in this room who said that was an acceptable tactic of war.
Oh.
So, like, when I hear that and somebody's saying that to me with a straight face in public, I'm like, man, there's nothing that we can do to avoid a nuclear exchange.
See, this
aside
is why,
from the Lord Jesus and those angels who keep shutting down or aliens who keep shutting down our nuclear sites and shit. This shit is nothing to play with, man. It's nothing to play with. And you know, how do I say this? I think people who have never been in real armed conflicts or even extreme violence, if you have not seen that and taken part in it, you really, really should think twice before you talk about supporting any sort of position. Unless you've been involved in extreme violence, you really ought to think about what you're supporting either way. Because I'm telling you, once certain lines get crossed, man, it's just human psychology, bro. It's just human psychology. All right. So Zero Cobalt's having a moment. Listen, mods, give Zero Cobalt a little bit of grace. We don't know what everybody's coming in, so we don't need to completely ban him, but I do think you need to calm down and slow down, Zero Cobalt. I don't know if you want some attention or something. I mean, you're welcome here, bro, but chill out. If you need attention, I can get you some attention. You just got to relax, man. Yeah, so the song was really important to me because it talked about, you know, the fragility. You know, we take a lot of things for granted. And if people don't understand that, they will understand it soon. I'll say it that way, unfortunately.
Wow.
But there's a lot of shit that we're all taking for granted.
Yep.
And so if we didn't take those, if we didn't take those things for granted, then the world would be a lot different. Yep. We would be a lot less quick to just sign off on the deaths of tens of thousands of people. Which anytime you support a war, that is what you're doing. Yeah. You're signing off on the deaths of tens of thousands of people. Okay. So this is a good song. I'm gonna give it a 8.7. It
was an 8 for me. Sonically, it wasn't like super exciting for me. I think the topic was important, but 8, solid 8.